Good morning, world. It's Mr. Cheese. This is FM26 Football Manager 2026, and we've got our next seasons of our Manchester United rebuild. So this is basically season 3, and we're going to be doing season 3 and into season 4, and of course our recap. We jump into our fixture schedule and go back in time to the previous season. We just came second to Manchester City. We'd won 2 cup finals. We won 7-1 against Sunderland in the FA Cup. And if we jump up there, you can see the Carabao Cup final. We beat Liverpool 1-0. We also got to a Champions League final, but lost 2-0 to our biggest rivals, Liverpool, with Ekitike and Mohamed Salah scoring. So that was kind of annoying. So... you never want to lose to your rivals. So one of the things we were doing, we had over 130 plus million. And one of the things that we obviously want to then have a look at is our transfers. So sales out, we sold Maz to Real Madrid for £28 million, which was a very good deal in the end. If we go to the career... he has played some games on the right-hand side for us, but not a huge number of games. So the actual value, looking at 28 million is great business for us. He's 29 years old, so that kind of made sense because we've got Vanderson as one of our main right backs, kind of as a backup anyway now. And they were the guys that we'd purchased. Let's just go back here. This was the 50 million and 48 million deal. So Baku and Vanderson are our main wing backs now on that right side. So no issues there. Other sales were just kind of pocket change sales. We got a lot of youth players that have come through, but they're not really going to be good enough to get into the main team. I don't think I've missed anyone from last season. We talked about Ahmad and the £72 million deal, and we brought in some rotation players to just help us. But this year was about making the team challenge because we didn't win the Champions League. So we've brought in 2 players. And Bouadidi, we've got in. This guy is absolutely top class. 19 years old, French. And the numbers are just insane. This guy is one of the best midfielders right now in the world. And we paid 120 million. He came from League One in France. Played many a game and always been good. And he's just gone straight into the team. And then the man I always cover, Victor Froholt, Danish superstar. And again, you look at those numbers, this guy is an absolute top-class elite defensive midfielder. High quality. Was at Copenhagen and has had a couple of seasons in Portugal and another big signing. So, in all, nearly 200 million, 195 million pound. So, big signings, big expectations, and this is hopefully the 2 centre midfielders that changed Manchester United. So our current squad looks as so. We've got Lamb still in goal. No change to our defence, Maguire, Martinez and De Ligt are still great, and Lenny Yoro's still rotation. We've still got Patrick Dorgu, who's on the left. And of course, we've got Vanderson, but we've also got rotation. So we've got Baku, who's our main player, but he was just a bit lack of condition in the last game. Bouadi in midfield with Froholt, and then Mbumo, Chesko, and Bruno Fernandes. So that's the team. That's what we've got. I'm going to be throwing Marcus in because Brian's out for kind of 3 weeks-ish. Bit of a grump on that one. So that's our squad. So the main players that I've kind of brought in, the 2 centre men in this plug that I refer to, and our fullbacks. The rest of these guys kind of already were there. So how have we started with these guys? Have we won anything? Are we doing good? And the answer is we're doing very good indeed. We opened the season with a 4-2 win against Man City at Wembley to get the the Community Shield. Baku scoring, Brian, and then Chesko. An away draw at Crystal Palace, but then we beat Tottenham 4-0 at Old Trafford. We beat Wolves away 3-1. We beat Chelsea 3-0 at Old Trafford, 2 for Chesko. And of course, we just absolutely mauled Notts County in the Carabao Cup third round. So, Champions League phase. What games have we got? We've got Barcelona at Camp Nou. We've got Naples away. Then we've got a kind of an easier game. Sturm Graz as well. Shakhtar, Bayern at Old Trafford, AC Milan. So some tough games in the Champions League, but that'll test us. So we're going to be going through, as we normally do, just kind of into early January, and then we can assess our any new signings, although it's highly unlikely we will, unless there's massive injuries. But what I am pleased about is December doesn't look as bad. November's a tough one. We've got the Emirates, we've got Manchester City at Old Trafford, and then we've got Anfield. But when it matters, when you've got all that fixture congestion around Christmas, we can afford some rotation. So I'm kind of pleased. So the current state of affairs is that, let me do that again. There we are. So we are right up there with 10 points, right next to Manchester City, who have also started this season pretty well, with wins against Fulham 7-2, though, against Newcastle. What the hell? Wow, what a win for Man City. West Ham, Brentford, Palace started well this season. Villa are at the bottom, not looking good. And Leicester, Sunderland. So the league's already kind of getting shape, but Liverpool are surprising me. 2 bad starts. They lost 3-0 to West Ham and 1-0 to Forest. Liverpool, Hans-Dieter Flick is their manager, not Arne Slot. Chelsea, De Zerbi, and I can't see De Zerbi staying that long if Chelsea slip down. And Newcastle, Thomas Tuchel, not doing good either. So that's the start. I'll catch you at December. We can have a look at mid-season, and let's fingers crossed we have a great season. And just the update, as I do, already won an award this year, and we've got the Community Shield. So we're continuing this success, and of course, you know, when we're clicking on here, we've won the Community Shield consecutively, Carabao Cup in 2027, FA Cup in 26 and 27, back-to-back FA Cups, and then we won the Premier League in 26. We won a European trophy on there. That's what we want. And as far as statistics are concerned, 75% win rate. So we're still absolutely on track for exactly what we're looking for. And I'll see you after Christmas. Hello and welcome back. Let's have a look at the Premier League now. So it's 2nd of Feb. We've done Christmas, New Year and the first half of the season, and of course we finished the second registration window and transfers. So again, we're in a great position. 25 games now played and 56 points for Manchester United. We have had a couple of bad results, which I'll talk to you about. But second place is Arsenal, third are Tottenham, 52, and then Chelsea on 49. Newcastle, 43, Everton, 41, and Manchester City in 7th place. Not in a great position at all. Something needs to be sorted out there. Luis Enrique not having a good season. It's worse though for Liverpool, who literally have collapsed, and now Marco Rose is the manager of Liverpool. Big problems, completely at Anfield. Wolves look like they're just going to go down again. Leicester and Forest also struggling. So, again, defensively we're letting in less goals than games played. That's good, but goal scoring's dropped a bit, which I need to have a little look at. Nothing's changed. It's the same guys, but we're not scoring as many goals. Something to look at for sure. Quick one with the Champions League, the group stage. Let me click final and go to the league phase, and there we are. So in the league and Champions League, outstanding, and we've had some really, really tough games, but we've been absolutely fantastic. Kind of recent ones, we beat Bayern Munich 2-1, we beat AC Milan 1-0, 30 goals in 8 games. So the Champions League, we're all over. But so is England, because Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea are right behind me. City and Tottenham are there as well. Teams out. Any big names? Well, Roma have just squeezed, but no real major shocks there. And the Europa League, let's go group league phase that we are. Newcastle doing fantastic. Ajax doing good. Juventus are in there as well. And again, teams out. Besiktas and Rangers. And Aston Villa, they're through. So that's good for Villa. FA Cup wise, we played the third round and we beat Reading 4-1. As for the Carabao Cup, we are playing in the semi-final against Villa. Villa have that 1-0 lead. They won 1-0 against us in Birmingham, and Tottenham play Middlesbrough. So that's the score. As far as games that we've played and how we've done, let's jump. So we started the season, we know about Notts County. We continued that. We beat Barcelona 2-0 at the Camp Nou. Bruno Fernandes with 2 goals. We beat Leicester. We beat Napoli in Italy, and then a 3-1 win against Everton. Everything was flying. Everything was flying. We beat Brighton 5-0. 6-0 win in the Champions League. 4-0 win against Newcastle, even with a red card. We beat Arsenal on penalties and a monster penalty shootout in the Carabao at the Emirates. 3-0 win against Brentford, and then 7-0 against Sturm Graz. We couldn't be beaten. We were untouchable. And we got cocky. And then we lose to Forest at home. And I kind of remembered last year when we just missed out to Manchester City and we were getting worried. Then we had a tricky one in the game after at the Emirates, which we didn't win. So we had to get things back. We did. Beat Shakhtar. We came away with a good 1-0 victory against Manchester City. Marcus Rashford getting that goal. And a 1-1 draw at Anfield, which was great. December, Southampton beat, Bayern beaten, Fulham beaten, Sunderland beaten, West Ham beaten. And then, where did this come from? Sunderland totally outplayed us. Wow was basically the word. I couldn't explain it. We came back and beat Villa. We won again. We beat Wolves. Lost in that first leg, and then we beat Reading. And I thought, right, we've got over it. We have absolutely got over it. But 2 tough away games. Chelsea 2-1 was, they're a good team. This one hurt me hard. We're too good to lose 5-0. We really are. And that was just poor. But then we beat AC Milan 1-0. We beat Crystal Palace 4-0. 5-1 against LFC. And Leicester 3-1. So a little bit back. A little bit coming back. But we should be better. Kind of a familiar tale. And Mbumo 23 goals, Chesko 22 goals, Bruno 15 goals, 22 assists, Cunha doing great, Froholt. So the guys are doing good. Dorgu 15 assists. He's doing his normal. So I'm just hoping this year that we can finish these games off and not make the same mistake as last year. And come through. I think the midfielders are playing better, but again, we've got 2 key players in the team who are new. You expect sometimes issues when new players come in, that they take a little bit of sometimes the time to gel. But I think with our fixtures that we've got, I think we can do well. February is going to be tough, but we've got Anfield, we've got Liverpool at home and Arsenal at home. We do have to go to the Etihad, but after that, it's kind of plain sailing on paper. But you don't win this league on paper. So I'm confident. We've already got a 4-point lead in the league and a good goal difference. So kind of call it 5 points. So I think we can win the league this year, for sure. The Champions League doesn't worry me. Everyone we've played with battered. 8 out of 8. We can definitely get past Villa and we can beat Tottenham in the Cup. I say that even though they beat us 5-0. And the FA Cup, of course, we've got a great record with the FA Cup. So this is what we're hoping for. And hopefully we can do well. So I'll join you at the end of the season and we'll finish off and have a look at how we did in Season 3. Cheers. Hello guys, welcome. Football Manager again, here we are. And it is now the end of our season in Season 3. And a rocky road, but a successful road. And you can see we are the champions with 84 points, 86 goals. So still very, very successful. Albeit this year, one has to realise that the second place team, Arsenal, only 75 points. Chelsea, 74. Manchester City, 73. So you can't really say there was too much of a challenge this year. And we lost 8 games, which, as you can see, some of them were awful. We lost to Nottingham Forest 2-1. And then the rest were away games. So there is an issue with away games, which this year was a little bit outside of the normal stats and prediction. Whether that's just the change in players and it was too much of a change, I don't know. But I'm going to stick with the tactic. I'm not fiddling the tactic for away games as yet. But 84 points is good. We should absolutely have done better than that. And in fairness, if we'd have won the Forest game and we'd have had another 3 points on there, I don't think I'd be grumpy at 87 points. So that was good. Wolves, Leicester and Forest go down. And another disappointing season for Nottingham Forest. Liverpool 7th, not good at all. And Marco Rose at Liverpool, I'm not sure if he's going to keep his job. Newcastle United, they're out of a current manager. They need to get something fixed there. Aston Villa have kind of dipped down, but Unai Emery is still the manager of Villa. Current managers, Arsenal's manager, Guardiola, he obviously moved up second place, but Guardiola won't be happy with 9 losses and some pretty bad ones, 3-0 to Chelsea and 2-1 at home to Liverpool there. City, their manager, TBC, there's a job vacancy at Manchester City. And Chelsea, De Zerbi is still at Chelsea. So Tottenham, I think, still Thomas Frank it is. So that was the Premier League. I'm not going to rave about it. We won the league. We got 84 points, but certainly not something that you would rave about. And going back, so our first year, 92 goals, 88 points, really good. Only 60 defeats, won the league. 83 points last season, 88 goals. Again, very good. 86 goals this year, 84 points. So we're quite consistent in the league, which I'm very pleased about. And that's our second title. So that's outstanding. So next up is the Carabao Cup. And we won the Carabao Cup. We beat Tottenham. Great victory. And it was a Benjamin Chesko goal. Not the most exciting final. But hey, we won the game. We won the game. There was a fair few attacks, but it was more of a defensive battle. But we managed to get through there. And Tottenham's team, you can see here, Van der Ven still at Tottenham. Chabi's still there. So let's have a quick look at the Carabao Cup breakdown. So here we are. We know we won 1-0 against Tottenham. That was the final semi-finals. We beat Aston Villa 1-0 in the first game, but then we came back with a 2-0 victory. Delict and Brandon Bumo. Tottenham big 3-2 win against Newcastle Middlesbrough at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Quarterfinals. Let's jump back. There we go. Come on. What am I doing here? There we go. Let me do a different view. That was just messy, what I was trying to do there. Quarterfinals. Tottenham beat Liverpool at Anfield. We beat Sunderland away. Chelsea defeat on penalties to Middlesbrough, and Southampton lose to Villa. Fourth round, we beat Arsenal. Liverpool got through on penalties as well. So that was the Carabao. Chelsea big 6-2 win there, but they don't win it. Next, FA Cup. So the FA Cup final, we win. We win again, another trophy. So we've won the Premier League, we've won the Carabao Cup, and we've won the FA Cup. So a domestic treble, stunning. And bloody Bruno gets red carded again, this time in the FA Cup final. But luckily Cesco scores 2 goals, and we still can breathe and win that game. Brighton had a bit more domination than us probably in the second half, but we continued to win. And Havertz playing at Brighton. Very interesting. So 2-0, disappointing for Brighton, but great for us. We've won another trophy. Let's have a breakdown of that FA Cup. So the semi-finals, Brighton 3, Liverpool 2 at Wembley, and we beat Manchester City 2-1 at Wembley. I was very surprised Brighton got that win, but huge win for them, but obviously disappointing for Brighton in the final. Quarter-final, Liverpool beat Bournemouth, Man City beat Villa. We won big against Leicester, and Everton were knocked out by Brighton. Fifth round, City beat Tottenham. Coventry lose to Bournemouth. Leicester got through. Everton through from there. Liverpool beat Bolton. We squeezed through Newcastle on penalties. So that's kind of how your teams went. I'll quickly look at the fourth, and I'll scroll down if you want to look for your team. Wrexham 3-2. Leicester beat them. That was a surprise. City getting past Sunderland. Sorry, Southampton there. We beat Sunderland. So let's go to the Europa. And Newcastle United are the champions. They have won the Europa League 4-1 over Bayer Leverkusen. Semi-finals, Juventus losing to Leverkusen. Juventus trying to get back into the big time there. Marseille lost to Newcastle. Quarters, Juve beat Fenerbahce. Bayer Leverkusen beating Lech. Werder Bremen losing there. And Newcastle get past Bergamo from Italy. And the last 16, anything big there? Monaco losing to Juve. Quick look down. Valencia knocked out. Ajax knocked out. Villa losing to Werder Bremen. So that's the situation there. Let's get back to that final. And we're going to skip down. Let's go back to all of our season. Roma winning in the first season, year 1 of this rebuild, beating Porto. Tottenham beat Galatasaray in year 2. And Newcastle 3-1 against Bayer. Fantastic. So we had a chance. We had a great chance, of walking away with a quadruple, but you can see it didn't happen. I'm going to click on the final shortly, but Chelsea 2, Manchester United 0. Semi-finals, we beat Real Madrid 4-2 on aggregate, which was a great result for us, and Chelsea knocked out Paris Saint-Germain. Quarterfinals, Tottenham losing to Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund lose to Paris. We beat Liverpool. So we got revenge on Liverpool for the Champions League previous, and Inter lost to Milan. Final 16, they're your teams if you're not on there. Barcelona losing to Liverpool, and Atletico Madrid getting knocked out that stage, and Man City. So the final was disappointing, especially because the year previous, in year 2, we lost to Liverpool 2-0, and then Real Madrid won the first season 5-1. So another disappointment there. Let me go to my fixtures. And not a great game. They certainly didn't deserve the 2-0 score. We should have at least got a draw out of that game. And we were just not playing well. You can see the numbers. And we had a full squad. So just really disappointing for me. It's currently the thing I'm trying to chase is the Champions League. It's hurting me. I've lost to Liverpool 2-0 and Chelsea now 2-0. Not nice. Let's have a quick look at some of them final games then from kind of February. We beat Liverpool in the Premier League 3-1. Big result. Chesko, Bruno Fernandes as well. That's when we drew with Arsenal and another red card, luckily at the last bloody minute. We lost to Man City. Kylian Mbappe, you're going to notice there, he's gone to Manchester City, and that was a £288 million deal. And he gets 18 goals in 24. Interestingly enough, with Man City, and if we can click on City, is there a transfers for Man City? Yes, there is. Right, Manchester City, here we are. They sold Erling Haaland for 195 million. So, kind of a switch. Haaland's first season he scores 14. I'm not sure why that trade was done. It seemed a bit silly to me. Neither team really gaining, I don't think. But that was a big transfer switch between Real and Man City. So jumping back, we beat Bruges then 3-0. Newcastle we've already shown that one. Bruges again. We beat Tottenham in that Carabao final that you've seen. A couple of good wins, and then Bournemouth beat us, and the last minute. April was great. Good results there. 4-0 in that first leg against Liverpool in the Champions League was a great result. We beat Villa 4-1. They had 2 red cards, kind of helped us. The 2-1 loss at Anfield didn't mean anything because we'd won 4-0. But then we went on a good run, beat West Ham. We beat Man City in the semi-final. We beat Real Madrid 3-1. And then beat Newcastle 4-2, again with another red card. And at the end of the season, we got past Madrid and then went on a good run. 2-0 win there. We beat Brighton 4-0. Everton 3-0. We beat Brighton again in the cup final. And, of course, that defeat to Chelsea. So, good and bad. Let's have a look at... there we go. 6 trophies this time. 6 awards this time. 4 trophies. And if we click on... There's a lot more information now. Cheese's team won the Community Shield 2026, 2027. We won the Carabao in 27 and 28. FA Cup 3 times in a row. That's the big one. 26, 27, 28. We've won it. Premier League in 26 and 28. We've won 2 league titles, 7 cups. And it is a bit Route 1. You're quite right. We've earned recognition and we've been Manager of the Year twice. So, very successful. We are definitely back. But that European success is just eluding us. But that's football sometimes. Managerial stats now, still 75% win rate, which is elite level. 180 games now I've had at Manchester United. We've only lost 26, 449 goals and 160 conceded. So we're still less than 1 goal a game. Quick look at the players. So let's go on selection and goals. So Benjamin Chesko, top, 37 goals, 7 assists. And Chesko's 3 seasons in the Premier League. Really good year 1 and 2. Went down a bit this year. So I'm looking at that. But that just could be a blip. But even with Chesko not playing great, we still won a treble. So he's still with us, 2030. So we will look at new contracts there. Brandon Bumo, 29 goals, 17 assists. And Brian, relatively consistent, but he got better this year with the 15 goals, although the assists dropped down. But still top class, and he's with us until 2031. Bruno Fernandes, 25 goals, 31 assists. What on earth? What a player. And the consistency we've had The goals have slipped down a bit, but the assists have moved up. But he's still got it. Bruno's with us until 2029, so we need to do a contract there. Has he still got it? Yeah. So he's definitely still able to be with us. So no issue with Bruno. Matheus Cunha, solid player. Goals have dropped though, only 6, but most of the time he was playing an attack where Chesko was, and the goals kind of have fizzled up from that striker position. So I am concerned, but it could just be a one-off. I don't know. We'll find out very soon. Marcus Rashford, 13 goals and 6 assists. Marcus, his contract is running out very soon, and there's a conversation of, do I continue Marcus? He's played more games this year, but again, only a handful of goals in return. He still has good numbers, and he's only 30. I don't know if he will be interested. Let's try it right now. No, he's not. I'm not going to be worried too much there. Froholt, 9 goals, 9 assists from that central midfield slot, and great first year, 7.18 rating in the Premier League. So he's had a fantastic season. Really good player. Harry Maguire had 7 goals. What's Harry like for contracts? 2029 again next year. I'll have to see. That pace is getting slower for Harry. Buadi, very good as well. And down here, 6 goals, 10 assists. And again, his Premier League record, 33 games, 3 goals. Very, very good again. Top class. Let's keep looking. Anyone else of note? Of course, Patrick Dorgu, who has been just a god for 3 years, really. And he scored his first goal, which was fantastic for us. 13 assists, so he's absolutely improved. 23 years old, and he's with us for another few years. Baku, he's with us again for 2 years. He's 30 now, and his 3 seasons at Manchester United have been fantastic. Another, 16 assists, 11 assists. Great player, great buy. Just looking, Vanderson, 7 assists too, but Vanderson, it's mainly Baku who's playing, but Vanderson definitely gets games and definitely contributing with those assists. And I think that's it for the main stars. So the team are good, and particularly when we go to our selection info, you can see by age, if we kind of come down here, some of our players that are older, that's fine. But we've got some, if I go to, let's do wage, because that's kind of a good way, no transfer value. If we're doing it by transfer value, 20, 22, 24, 28 in Mbumo, Dorgu, 23, 22, Dilic, 28, Vanderson, 26. So we've got a good young team. So that's a good third season. Do I want better in season 4? Well, yeah, because I'm a greedy manager. But at the moment, would I be going down as a great manager for Manchester United? I think I would. With a 75% win record, 2 leagues and 7 cups, I think very much we can say that. And I doubt there's anyone between myself. I think Ferguson's obviously number 1, but who would be 2? Probably Busby still, because we've not won the European Cup. But apart from the greats, the legends, I've certainly done better than any other Manchester United manager since Ferguson. And our FA Cups, of course, we beat Brighton 2-0. Doing the wrong bit there. This bit I want to do. We beat Brighton 2-0. Then we beat Sunderland 7-1, and we beat City on penalties. So highly successful in the FA Cup, and on to season 4. There's going to be some guys going, some great names. But again, that's life. That's part of football. So I'll catch you at the start of season 4. Okay, guys, what have we got? So it is September the 1st. Let's go to our transfers and what we've been doing kind of as to pick players up. So let's go sales first. Well, Rasmus left on a free, and he was never going to be playing for us, in fairness. Senru is on loan. Sold a young player, Marshall Evans. He was through the youth team. He's only 18. He's actually got some good numbers, but he's never going to play for me because I prefer that defensive midfielder. And he's not going to be getting games. And I thought, I'll just take the cash on him. As far as signings, great deal here. Free transfer, Matheus Nunes, who came to us. Great signing. And he's going to be helping rotation in our midfield. And then this was a tough one, but I need to do it. Brought in goalkeeper, Serbian goalkeeper from Roma, paid 40 million. Very, very good goalkeeper indeed. And the reason for this is Lamans just really hasn't developed enough. So he's 26 years old, he's solid, and he's actually played well for me, but I think I need a better goalkeeper, I need a better keeper, and I just think that Svilar gives me that. His command of the area, his handling, his one-on-ones, his reflexes are better, his bravery is better, his positioning is better, his agility is better, and these are the fine details that could potentially win us games. So I've made that choice, and hey, it might work out, it might not. That's my problem because I'm the manager. So money-wise, we've still got some money available and 100 million in the bank, but I'm not going to buy anyone else because at the moment, if I go to my tactic, we're pretty good. So our keeper's in there. Our defence is still the same. Baku and Dorgu are still there. Buidi, and Verholte there. I put Marcus on the left at the moment because of an injury. Bruno Fernandes just coming off a bad injury, and obviously he's a top class. Put Brian out on the right hand side because he can play there. But Chesko, we've got an injury, a calf strain, which is damn annoying, but one of them things. So I'm going to be putting Matthias in there. Let's get Vanderson back in. So I'm happy with what I'm seeing. And once Bruno Fernandes is back, we're going to have still a very, very good, strong side. And we've started great, so I'll just bore you with the latest scores. Good start. We beat Arsenal in the Carabao, the Community Shield. Declan Rice and Odegaard scoring, but Chesko back in 2. Hammered West Ham. That was an absolute destruction, 7-1. Good 2-0 win against Ipswich, solid result there. Big win against Crystal Palace, 4-0, Brandon Bumo 2, and then 7-0 in the Carabao against Burnley, and kind of everyone jumped in. Our new free transfer, Nunes, scoring at the end there as well. So, outstanding start. And our games at the moment were pretty good in September. October's not too bad. December's a bit trickier because we've got Manchester City early, but then Villa, Chelsea and Arsenal around that Christmas, New Year. But, yeah, everything's good. Everything's still very confident. So I'll catch you in the new year, and hopefully we've got a solid position at the halfway stage. Hi, Mr. Cheese. So let's go to our Christmas league table. So let's go Premier League first, and let's load up. And after 24 games, so we're now on February the 2nd, 2029, and we are top of the league. 65 points. We've got Liverpool on 61, who are literally right behind us, neck and neck. We've only lost one game. Liverpool have lost 3, so our loss was Liverpool. We lost the game 2-1. As for Liverpool's defeats, Chelsea, Villa, Everton, and 4-0 Everton turned over Liverpool. So this is kind of an insane situation. After 24 games with 65 and 60 points, we could both end up in the 90s, without a doubt. And then there's a massive gap behind Arsenal, Bournemouth, Manchester City. And at the bottom of the league, of course, we've got Coventry in an absolute horrific situation, Burnley and Ipswich. And you can almost say that Crystal Palace are probably safe right now, the way that league looks. So it's a very interesting league table this year. Quick look at clubs. So Newcastle United, who are kind of in 12th. Antonio Conte is at Newcastle. Aston Villa's manager is Jose Mourinho. So Unai Emery has gone. We've got Everton. David Moyes is still there as the Everton boss. Chelsea, De Zerbi. We've got Luis Enrique now. Tottenham Hotspur, still Thomas Frank. Clearly Thomas Frank is loved by Tottenham Hotspur. Man City is De Zerbi. And Bournemouth, John Griffiths. Let's have a look at Arsenal. Guardiola still, although Guardiola's team are miles away. Liverpool, Marco Rose. So some changes there, but not completely a complete revamp. But this year, ourselves and Liverpool are absolutely neck and neck. And if we jump into the fixtures, the current status with the Carabao Cup is we have, let me just go to detailed. We've got a final between Manchester City and Everton. The semi-final, there it is. Let's just go to the first 2 semis. There we are. So Tottenham beat Everton 1-0 with a Tell goal. And we beat City 2-1, Bruno and Cesco. But that second leg was horrific. Everton took out Tottenham 2-0 and we lose 4-0. Sorry, 3-0. 4-2 on aggregate, and we were just completely out of it. So that is the situation. League Cup wise, we're not winning the League Cup this year for sure. FA Cup 4th round, I've got City away. Not nice. We've still got that tricky one. And then the Champions League phase. Wrong section. League phase. There we are. Barcelona, Arsenal, Manchester United, Real Madrid. That's the top of the Champions League group stage. We've lost 2 games, Bayern and Sporting. So we're still through to the qualification phase. And if we go to that'll be the knockout phase, won't it? So the knockout phase to come before then the knockout. So we're through to the Champions League, but we don't know yet who we're going to get. And as for players, so far, and this of course is up to Feb 2nd, we've got Matheus Cunha with 19 goals, 7 assists, Cesco 17 goals, Brandon Bumo, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Matheus Nunes. So the guys are doing pretty good. We've got some fantastic assists again from Patrick Dorgu. So things are looking as normal from a Manchester United perspective this year with our tactics. So kind of everything's okay there. But what we're not getting, of course, is certain results. But Manchester City beats us. We're not going to win every single game. So that's the status right now. And what we, of course, had done up to this point was we did buy Nunes, who was free transfer. We've now got him worth around 50 plus million for a 30-year-old. So that's a great piece of business, and he's doing good. We have our new goalkeeper, who's only conceded 19 in 33, and significantly a better player. And then the board purchased William Pacho. I absolutely did not do a thing. And the board just made an overriding decision and brought him in at the end of Jan. So that was kind of a surprise, because I was skipping through some of the comment messages, and then suddenly I spot this guy called William Pacho in my team and went, where's he come from? And then, of course, when I look back, Gelson Wilcox had made this call. And I suppose in a way it's kind of real. You know, some football managers do kind of let loose the reality that some players appear at their club and they don't know about it. So that's happened to me. Although I'm not going to grumble too much, because actually when you look at this guy, he's 27, he's 6'2", and he has actually got some bloody good numbers. Purchased from Paris Saint-Germain, but that's a big amount of money. So £97 million. The board obviously making a decision there. But hey, if they've got the money and they want to spend it, I'd rather have made the choice myself. But yeah, goodbye any chances of saving cash. So that's the situation that we are in. Let me just go back, sorry there. That's the situation we are in so far in the league. We are in a very good position. Our league last year, we won the title, of course, with 84 points. We are well on the way to getting more than 84 points. Into the 90s, almost certainly this year. But we're not going to win the Carabao this year, so we've got the FA Cup and the Premier League to think about. So that's our situation up to Christmas. Am I happy? Yeah, there's nothing really to grumble about too much. I think we're playing great. It'll be a little bit tougher. We've got some tricky away games, especially on our fixtures. We've got Manchester City away in the league and in the League Cup. April's tricky. We've got Arsenal and Chelsea. And then we've got Liverpool in the final game at Anfield. That's not nice. And then our league situation, we've obviously been beaten by City. We've had 2 tricky games away from home in Europe, and then apart from that, the only one was early when Liverpool beat us at Old Trafford. And that hurt me because we'd gone on such a fantastic run in between that game. We were almost untouchable. But reality certainly does set in, and that win almost has become the reason why Liverpool are close. Without that, Liverpool are on 58, we're on 68. It's a 10-point gap. And you can probably start writing the season off at that point. But no, that defeat by Liverpool has changed everything. So that's the score. We need to see the final part of the season for this season, which is season 4. Season 1, we won the league. Season 2, second to City. Season 3, win. And season 4 is where we are at right now. So let's load up the final part of the season and see whether or not we were able to turn things into Manchester United success, or are Liverpool going to be cruel and pip us by 1 or 2 points with can Liverpool get 98 points and we're on 97? Either way, it's going to be cruel to one of us, without a doubt, because I can't see Liverpool falling down. They're going to win games. Okay, well, let's go to the end of the season. Okay, so this was the final league table. Let's go in reverse order. Let's go to the bottom. Ipswich, Burnley, Coventry relegated, and as you can see, there was a massive gap. Crystal Palace, so the bottom 3, no surprise. The top, which is important, we've won the league. But we thought it was going to be closer than that, but the answer was not really. It turned out Manchester United continued. We broke 100 points. We got 93 goals and won the league very comfortably indeed. We did lose games. We lost to Manchester City away 1-0. and Bournemouth 1-0. But Liverpool fell down in the end, not just with defeats, and we beat Liverpool in the final game of the season, but Liverpool lost points on their draw. So Liverpool finished with 89 points, which actually is fantastic, an outstanding achievement. But 101 points is just bonkers. And that was such a fantastic season to get that number of points and that number of goals. Absolutely top class. Tottenham and Arsenal behind there, and then Bournemouth, Manchester City 6th. We got Ryan May now at Man City. Clearly more dismissals. Chelsea, they don't have a manager right now, so there's the work going on there. Newcastle, Antonio Conte. Everton, David Moyes is still there. Villa, Jose, although the great Jose himself is not making Villa any good, let's put it that way. And Liverpool, of course, still with Marco Rose. So it's a fantastic victory for Manchester United, top quality, and to win the league in that fashion is just amazing. Other things didn't work out for us, though. If we go to the FA Cup, Tottenham Hotspur won the FA Cup 1-0 over Bournemouth, so our run of 3 FA Cups on the trot ends abruptly. Semi-final, Bournemouth beat Everton and Newcastle lost to Tottenham. Quarters, City lose to Bournemouth. Newcastle won against Cardiff. Tottenham beat Brighton, and Swansea won Everton 3. And then the 5th round, you're wondering where we are. Tottenham beat Arsenal, all North London derby game, and we have to go to the 4th round. And we find that we lose to City at the Etihad. So the fact it was the 3rd round, one can ignore. The issue was we lose to Manchester City. So the FA Cup wasn't good for us. And the Champions League was kind of very interesting. Paris Saint-Germain winning the Champions League, but if we go to the round 16, we went out straight away. And it was Inter Milan, who beat us 4-3. They beat us 2-0, and then we won 3-2. And we were out. The Champions League losing me again, 2 finals, losing to Liverpool and Chelsea. And this time the kind of embarrassment of getting knocked out in round 16. Arsenal beat Bayern. Barca battered San Sebastian. Rangers, what a fantastic achievement for Rangers, but Galatasaray squeezed past them. But we have seen Galatasaray do really well. Buruk has done bloody good, actually, with Galatasaray in Europe. Let me load that back up. I've just been bloody silly. City win, Leipzig win, Paris win, Madrid win. Quarterfinals, Arsenal beat Barca. City lose to Galatasaray, another big scalp. Inter beat Leipzig, and Paris beat Real. Semis, Arsenal beat Galatasaray, and Paris just squeezed past Inter. And then, of course, the final, Paris Saint-Germain beat Arsenal. So that was the score there. And to be honest, if Arsenal had have won, Guardiola could have had another European Cup to his name. So that was kind of the end. That was a bit of a disappointment. Winning at Anfield was good. Chesko getting the winner. We beat Coventry 6-1. Huge win. Beating Newcastle 3-0 was fantastic. Sunderland beaten. Southampton beaten. Brighton beaten 4-0. So these big wins still kept on coming. And that was from February onwards. Squad-wise, let's go to our goals. And Benjamin Chesko, 24 in 39. So Chesko at this point, another 16 goals that season. Yeah, I'm happy with that, but I'm not. I wanted him to score more than 20. He didn't. Matheus Cunha, played more. His goal tally significantly increased, 17 in 37. So that's his biggest haul since being at Manchester United in one season. We got 20 goals off Bruno Fernandes, who still appears to be very good, although there is a trend going down there, although the assists are still very good. And Bruno has agreed a transfer to stay, an extension to stay next year, and he is 34. After Bruno, we've got Brian Mbeumo. 12 goals for Brian. Again, that's always been kind of consistent from Brian Mbeumo. And after that, Marcus Rashford. No real major change there from Marcus, although this year was one of his best. 9 goals, 6 assists, kind of an improvement. But Marcus has already kind of hinted that he doesn't want to stay at United now. Matheus Nunes is 10 goals and 6. He really has come in as a football player. 3 in the Premier League with 4 assists, so he's done great. Under that, midfield, Buhari, 5 goals, 2 assists, 2 good seasons in midfield. And you got to remember, this guy's only 21. Only just 21, which is just bloody insane. De Ligt, fantastic. And Riedel Baku, whoa, this guy's 31. But another fantastic season, 12 assists, 11 assists. You know, absolutely top class. And 16, and he's actually scored a few more goals. But he still got it. Still very, very good indeed. That's where's Patrick Dorgu? Patrick Dorgu there, 18 assists this year, off 41 games. And if we look at the Premier League numbers, slightly down, 13 to 8 assists, but still a top class player. He's still 24 years old, which is just mad as a hatter. So they're our main players, really. Apart from that, we've got Victor Froholt doing good. Harry Maguire, as usual, putting in his kind of innings. This year, a little bit lower. And the major reason for that was Lenny Yoro would have been leaving because he was upset he's not playing. And of course, with the changes and the purchase of Willian Pacho coming in, we had to make a decision. And the top 4 defenders now are going to be Pacho, Martinez. It's also going to be, excuse me, let me go to my tactic. De Ligt and Martinez and Yoro, and then Pacho coming in. So that's the change that we're going to be having. So a season where, disappointed in the Cups, normally we're a great Cup team, but a fantastic Premier League season. I suppose you can't have it both ways. As for the overview, 2 trophies, 3 trophies, 4 trophies, 2 trophies. The 2 trophies were the Community Shield and the League, and 5 awards. So right now, 26, 27 and 28 for the Community Shield. Carabao Cup 27, 28, FA Cup 3 times, 26, 27, 28, Premier League 3 Premier Leagues now, 26. It just says 3 times between 26 and 29. So 3 league titles, 8 cups is brilliant. We've been manager of the year now 3 times in the 4 years we've been at Old Trafford. We have another season. Let's go to club and finance. 188 million, which is excellent, and that's clearly come from our continued success within the Champions League. The main one this year I want to show you is this. Debts and loans, 0. So in 4 years, we were looking at 600 to 700 million worth of debt, and that appears to have popped. And now we find ourselves in a world where Manchester United might not have debt. Now, I'm not trusting anything because the Glazers still could pull out, or Ineos could still pull out 200 million and then slowly pay it off again. That's going to be interesting to see. But for a club like Manchester United, with the revenue of Manchester United, that should always end. That debt, it should. So it'll be very interesting to see next season how that's managed, because we got a transfer of 188, but apparently we got 338 million in the bank. So this will be an interesting view of how Football Manager deals with debts and deals with that kind of financial situation. But if I am to now not have debt at Old Trafford, and the money comes into Manchester United in the same way it does with, say, City or Liverpool, then we should be in a good position. But we'll have to see how that goes. So, fantastic. Quick managerial stat look. 77% win rate. That's got better. I've now had 236 games at Manchester United. Goals against, well below that, which is great. And we've scored nearly 600 goals. So very, very good indeed. Over 2 goals a game, less than 1 goal a game. Mathematically, we're great. 8 cups, 3 titles. But that bloody Champions League is still eluding us. So let's just do another season. Let's see what we can do in season 5. Okay, so no more transfers before season 5. But we do have some big news, which is Lenny Oro has been sold to Real Madrid for a fee that could hit 90 million. So Lenny's left us, mainly because I know we're going to be okay and we can fill his boots, forgive me to say it that way. But what I have done is purchased Endrick, who is 23 years old, and quite simply, the physicals are just insane. And with Jesko only kind of scoring 16 to 20 goals, I'm looking for someone that can score more, and hopefully Endrick can do that for me. As far as defenders are concerned, just picked up a rotation defender, Ashley Phillips. Not a great player, but he's there just to, forgive me, make up the numbers. But remember, we got Pacho last year, so he's going to be alongside Delict and Martinez, and we've got Aiden Heaven as well. So we're kind of comfortable in that sense with our centre backs. So right now, if I go to match day and the tactic, Chesko's back in there because Endrick's got an injury for a few weeks. Aiden Heaven's just slightly injured. Let's sort that properly. There we go. Lamans is still our backup goalkeeper. We've got Phillips there as a backup kind of centre back. But with Aiden Heaven as well, we're going to be okay. There is a bid for Harry Amas because he's 22. He's not going to get games, and I can get about 15 million back from him. Philip Dorgu's just like condition error. Xerxes didn't get his work permit, so I need to deal with that one. But that, again, doesn't really bother me. Xerxes almost not played at all for me ever since he was purchased. Yeah, we spent a lot of money, but since I took over, no, he's not really in the game. So from our perspective, we're going to be very good. And with Delict, Martinez and Pacho in there, I'm very happy those guys can do it, and the rotation players are going to be good. There's no issue there. So that's the score. I'm not looking to buy anyone else. If I go to finances, there's 88 million. And what I just want to do is wiggle some of that down, more of as a budget. And that should also stop Jason Wilcox bringing anyone in that I'm not expecting. back to the portal and overview, and then to, club and finance. Debt-wise, we're good. 189 million profit at the moment in that bank. Transfer 7 million. So financially, we are very solid. And hopefully Hendrick can come out and score, and we can get rid of that monkey off our back called the Champions League. Can I win it? Or will this be another season of disappointment? I mean, European-wise, not club-wise, because we're playing bloody good. Tottenham in the community, and we've got a good early set of games. The biggest one, Arsenal away. But actually after that, we don't really face anything until December. So hopefully we have a great first few months and put ourselves in a very, very good and strong position. I'll see you after Christmas. And so it is the end of the season. Let's have a look at who's who. So Manchester United win the title again, and that's another title for us. Fantastic, 89 points and 109 goals. And let's compare that. So 109 goals, 89 points. Let's compare that with all of our seasons. Season 188, 92 goals was a great achievement. We never won year 2, only 83 points, bit of a dip in 88 goals. 86 goals, 84 points, we win the league. 101 points, 93 goals. And then, of course, 109 goals and 89 points. That's our biggest goal scoring tally. Liverpool second, 75 points, but not great really points-wise. Moko Rose getting second place. Manchester City, 74 points. And Thomas Tuchel is still there at City. West Ham United, 72 points, and Pascal Janssen getting West Ham to the Champions League. Unbelievable. Tottenham, I bet you Frank's still there. He is. Thomas Frank still there at Tottenham. Arsenal, another manager bites the dust. And we've got Villa down there. Chelsea, not great. Arne Slot at Chelsea. And Paul Wolves. I think Wolves have finished bottom every time they've been in this league. Season 1, Wolves, 16 points, finished bottom. Season 2, they're not in the league. Season 3, they're back and get straight relegated again, 19 points, not in the league. And then season 5, Wolves are back in, 27 points. They're getting better with points, but another relegation for poor Wolves. So that is the Premier League. As for ourselves, we got knocked out. Tottenham knocked us out the Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain, the winners. Liverpool almost getting there and Tottenham losing to Real Madrid. Quarterfinals, that's where we got beat by bloody Tottenham. Annoying again. And I just, I need to look at something. I think I need to spend big if I'm going to win this Champions League. Big win against Villarreal. Also, let's have a look at FA Cup. Did you see that mistake, that mess, that disgrace? Third round, Bristol City 3, Manchester United 1. So in a cocky way, I kind of play some B players, thinking we've got this in the bag. Well, we didn't have it in the bag and we got beat. So that was bloody embarrassing. The final, though, Newcastle beat Watford pretty convincingly there. Watford knocking Arsenal out and Chelsea losing out as well. Quarters, Man City lost to Newcastle at that stage. Wolves, considering they were bloody awful in the league, getting to the quarter-final of the FA Cup, but it was Newcastle that won in the end. The Carabao, this wasn't good either. Third round, we were knocked out. So again, let's go third round. There it is, West Ham 2, Man United 0. Although I could argue it was West Ham and they did finish in the Champions League places, so But Liverpool got the win 4-3 against Tottenham. Semi-finals, Liverpool beating City and West Ham getting to that semi, but Tottenham squeezing past them. Bristol City getting to the quarterfinals. Great result. And they beat us as well. So some good results there, and some teams playing really well. So that was a solid cup result, that one, and Liverpool getting a trophy. So yeah, we got the Premier League. As far as key performances we're concerned, we beat Brighton 5-1, beat Fulham 8-1. We'd lost to Tottenham in the Community Shield. And at this stage, you're thinking, this is going to be good. And then, of course, this is the problem. Reality sets in. We went on a pretty solid run. We got another good 6-1 win against Villarreal. Leicester, we win 5-0. So, still good results. And then we had a bit of a disappointing spell after that 5-0 win against Villa. A draw against Newcastle. We lost to Bayer Leverkusen. Brentford draw, lose 4-3 to Manchester City at the Etihad. Kind of bitty. Then we think, hey, we got it back again. An 8-0 win against Southampton in the league. And then we get knocked out by Bristol City, although that was my cockiness. Everton beat us 2-0. Dorgu sent off early. And then we batter Red Star 9-1. So this was really somewhat weird. Big win against Arsenal. And then we went on a good run, beating Chelsea 5-2, Villa 3-0, good result. Lost at Anfield, again, can't really grumble too much about that one. Beat Brentford 4-0, good result. Tottenham in the Champions League, that was really disappointing, because obviously we'd one of them classics where we played Tottenham 3 times on the trot. Finished the season off well, 5-0, and against Palace 5-0. But it was just a little bit short, not able to, step over that line. And Endrick, 34 goals and 13. Benjamin Sechesko, 32, 16 assists. Junior England, 18 goals, 12 assists. And Junior, a very good player, and he's come in through the youth academy at Old Trafford, and played him on that right-hand side. He's got some great physicals, and he's got some other great numbers. So last year he had a few games, but I actually threw in him with anger this season to see how he could develop. And the answer was he came out and answered that question very clearly. Bruno as ever, not great overall rating this season. Brandon Bumo, 14 goals. And then down here, Baku, 22 assists. Dorgu, 14 assists. So very good performances. The big one as well, though, was money. Let me go to finances. Manchester United not having any debt and 149 million in the bank. And as far as transfers are concerned this season, and this is where we made those deals, some sales here like Aiden Heaven. Lenny Yoro, he was the big one to Madrid for 90 plus million. And of course we spent that big 150 on Endrick. And yeah, we're definitely getting the money back. 24 goals in the Premier League is fantastic. So we need to boost. We need to boost our team. Let's get to tactics. We need some strength. In fact, let me do the pick the best 11. And we don't play Bruno Fernandes there. We are playing Endrick in that position. Froholt is part of our team. Baku is. This is our number 111. Gonna put Bruno there for a second. Let's get Endrick on that side. So actually, this year we've pretty much got most of this, although Junior England has actually been where Bruno Fernandes is, but Dorgu for Holt, Boadi, Pacho Martinez, De Ligt. That's our team. So we do need some improvements for sure. Could do with some strength and depth. But I need another superstar. I think that's pretty clear. I'm going to have to put my hand in my pocket. So we'll see what kind of money we get coming into Season 6. And we'll do that straight away. Let's have a look at Season 6. Who did we buy? What happened? So, players in, players out. Yeah, you're going to get an idea of what we've done. But here are the deals. So, Svilara, goalkeeper, went to Real Madrid for 111 million. That's with other bonuses on top, and big signing for Madrid. I couldn't resist 111 million, guys. And also 92 million for Brian Mbumo, who, again, he's kind of in his early 30s, and 92 million for a guy that's 30 is insane money. So I really couldn't say no to that deal. Harry Amas, our young kind of left back, 24 million to Bayern. Had a few games, but then was dropped down to the second team. So Bayern kind of changing their mind there, it looked like. And after that, we just had a couple of kind of pocket change sales. But you probably already been looking at this. Let's have a look at our big one. It's got to be done. 250 million. And Jude Bellingham is ours. And I brought Jude in to Manchester United. It had to be done. Absolute top-class football player. Destiny Udogie from Tottenham. So 51 million, not a bad deal actually for him as a player. And he came in that left fullback position. And I was a bit grumpy about it because I love Dorgu, but it's got to come. It's got to come. Benoit from Chelsea, who's got some fantastic numbers still. He is, he was 29 at the start of the season, but he's come in and been playing for us. Hey, what a great player he is. So 3 real big signings. And then this deal was kind of really sneaky. He's £13 million, and Grillo has come in from Brazil. And as I say, for the price, 13 million? If we look at his numbers again, he's only 20 years old, can play on the right-hand side, really good, strong physicals. This guy can turn into a top-class football player. So Edmilson, someone I'm looking forward to certainly next year to see what he did. So the big question is important. Did we win the Premier League? And the answer was yes, we did. And not as easy as previous seasons. Arsenal gave us a run for our money, only 1 point in it, but we scored 111 goals, which is now our major haul because it was 109 last year. But Arsenal, who was their manager, Luis Enrique, obviously a great manager, comes in and has a great season with Arsenal. Tottenham, Thomas Frank still there. They love him. Liverpool 4th. Marco Rose is still at Liverpool. And Brentford, Keith Andrews, another good season for Brentford. They've always been doing well. Ryan May is now at Manchester City. He's an interim because of another sacking at City. Chelsea, Arne Slot, still 7th is poor. West Ham had a fantastic season getting in the Champions League, and now they've got a new manager, Tedesco. It's just so volatile with some of these managers. And Nottingham Forest at the bottom this season. So that was the Premier League. The big one, of course, the Champions League. Did we win the Champions League? And boy, was the answer yes. Let's go this way and let's do the details. What a penalty shootout. And Alonso was the guy who missed. Bruno, the man, missed a penalty. But I want to forgive him because Florian Wirtz had scored 2 goals to give Paris. This was literally 1999 rewired. Florian Wirtz scores 2 goals and then Junior England, 90th minute, Bruno Fernandes, 90+1. Literally Sheringham and Solskjaer, part 2. Bruno Fernandes misses early, but Paris miss. And that was the way it was. It was tough. On Wirtz, that wasn't actually in the penalty shootout, that one there. That was actually in the game. I think it was anyway. No, it wasn't. It was in the penalty shootout. Yeah, because they missed 2, we missed 2, and then it got to sudden death. That was it. I apologise. And then Alonso. Whoa. Right then, let's have a look at the other ones. So in the semi, we lost 1-0 in Madrid, but we'd won our game at Old Trafford. Paris Saint-Germain, no trouble against Inter. That was the game in Italy that Paris won. And yeah, we won 2-0, and Jude Bellingham scoring against his own old team, and Cunha scoring. Quarterfinals, we beat Barcelona. We lose 4-2 in the Camp Nou, but we'd won 3-0. Liverpool 4-1 at Anfield, but they'll feel absolutely heartbroken because of that loss in Madrid. Inter, West Ham get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and Bayern Munich with a big result over Paris, but you can see the aggregate score. There we are. Paris battered them 6-0, but they did get something back. West Ham 1-1 against Inter. We beat Barca 3-0, and Madrid 4-0. Liverpool beaten. So not good at all. Let's go back to our fixtures. What else have we got? We have FA Cup, but the FA Cup this year, Tottenham beat West Ham 3-0. Semi-finals, Tottenham beat Villa. West Ham got past Coventry City. What a performance by Coventry to get to the semi. Quarterfinals, West Ham knocked us out. Man City lose to Coventry. That's a scalp. And Leeds beaten 4-0. Villa 3-1 over Middlesbrough. The Carabao Cup, we won it. Another trophy to Old Trafford, and 4-2 we beat Newcastle United. Semis, we got past Arsenal. Villa lost to Newcastle, and the quarters, Sheffield United having a great cup run but just losing out to Villa. We beat Tottenham. Everton lost to Arsenal, and Leeds, another good cup run for Leeds, lost to Newcastle United. As for the squad, as for the goals, let's have a look. What a performance by Matheus Cunha. What on earth happened to this guy? Literally 32 years old, and he has the season of his career. Definitely a late bloom. 26 goals in the Premier League and 9 assists. 6 times player of the match. Matheus, what on earth were you having that summer? What was going on? Unbelievable season. Endrick, a solid season, although nowhere near the number of goals. But Endrick sort of went down a bit, 17. Jude Bellingham's first year, obviously he's got 3 trophies to his name, but he was playing out wide. 9 assists, so he was involved in over 20 goals, which was fantastic. Bruno Fernandes, again, turning up. And, last season, Bruno wasn't great. England came in and played a lot, but 30 games, 10 goals and 10 assists, bringing it back a little bit to some of his best days. But his first season, when I had Bruno, that was his best. And he never really regained that kind of brilliance from his first season. Junior England, though, hey, this kid has still got it. And 16 in 27, 9 in 21. So still a solid return, but he's in a tough side with people like Jude Bellingham and Bruno Fernandes. So Chesko was the difference. Chesko last season, 24 goals. But boy, was he bitching and moaning all the way through the season. I don't want to play on the left-hand side. I don't want to do this. You play me here. You do this. And the reason was I had a couple of problems, not on the right-hand side, but on the left. And because he's accomplished, I was playing him on the left. and unbelievable bitching. And it just annoyed me, and I'm not playing you then. So that led to Marcus Rashford getting some games. Forgive me, Marcus, kind of in spite of Chesko. And Marcus delivered. Again, 33 years old, 6 goals, 3 assists, 17 games. And Marcus signing off good. Udogie, 11 assists, 3 goals. Good season here. What else did we get? 20 assists altogether with 6 goals. Dorgu, not as active, but 10 assists. Baku, 17. Another great season there. So, some really good player performances. As for Man U as a club, we have 186 million available to spend. Don't ask me. And, I'd love to probably ask the FM26 developers why. But I've got no idea why there's a loan out for 8.6 million. We've got 114 million in the bank. Just give me 75 million or 50 million. It's very strange, but hey, the finances are better, which has significantly helped us. So we've now done 6 seasons. In those 6 seasons, let's go overview. There they are. We literally have fantastic success. 8 awards we got this last year. 4 trophies. And when we look now, the Community Shield, 4 times. 26, 27, 28 and 2030. We've won the Carabao Cup 3 times. We won the FA Cup 26, 27, 28. The Premier League 5 times in 6 years. Champions League 2031. And I've enjoyed a phenomenal success. 5 titles and 11 cups. And 5 times Manager of the Year. And, let's have a look at some of these awards. So English Footballer of the Year. That's the only one I'm probably disappointed at. That considering we won the league so much, we never got one of our players to get that big prize. Although when you look at some of the players on there, they're very good. The players' player, Mbappe and Gordon and Haaland. Top scorer, Matheus Cunha, 26 goals. Erling Haaland, that 33. And the 36, obviously, in the real world. And, is this just Premier League? Yeah, it starts with 92. Andy Cole, 34, and Shearer, 34. Let's have a look. Manager of the Year. 5 times. We won it in year 1, then Luis Enrique. And I've been Manager of the Year 4 times on the trot, which is fantastic. Player of the Month. Hendrick's in there, Cunha's in there, so that's good. Team of the Year, let's have a peep. Salah, Haaland, Bruno, Gordon. Right, okay. No, not many Man U players. They mustn't like us. This one always gets me, the Northwest Football Player of the Premier League. I think that's it. Young Player of the Year. Dorgu and then Junior England. Yeah, that's deserved. So this is how we're finishing it. I think I can put this one to bed. Have we had success at Manchester United? Yeah. I think that's pretty easy to agree with. Won the title in the first year, and then 4 on the trot since. Outstanding. Champions League. Year 1, of course, 25-26, Man U were not in the Champions League, but then year 2 and 3, I got to 2 finals, and they still haunt me, losing those 2. Then I was being knocked out in the earlier phase of the knockout, which was really annoying, but yeah, when you spend 400 million on two players, Endrick and Jude Bellingham, we broke that potential hat trick of Paris Saint-Germain to stop them dominating Europe. FA Cup history. Well, our first 3 years we won the FA Cup 3 years on a row, but then we weren't even able to get to a final. Tottenham beat Bournemouth, Newcastle, Watford, and then Tottenham beating West Ham. But hey, 3 FA Cups on the trot is fantastic. Carabao Cup. Yeah, we didn't get the first year, but we won it year 2, year 3. Manchester City, Liverpool winning, and then this year in the game we beat Newcastle United at Wembley to win another Carabao Cup. Fantastic achievement. Final one, let's have a look at the Europa League. So, yeah, season 1, Roma winning, then Tottenham beat Galatasaray, Newcastle win, beating Leverkusen, Liverpool beat Bergamo, Napoli beat Ajax, and then Bergamo win it, beating Arsenal. Arsenal lose. So, yeah, that's the situation. That was the competition. The only other one, let me just press pause again. Yeah, so the final one, guys, and I'll wrap up with this. This was the 2030 World Cup. And just as a reminder, it was, I'm looking for the venue. Host nation, Indonesia, Malaysia. So Spain 2-1, Rodri. Serbia beat Iran. These are group stage games. America beat the Congo. Holland beating Egypt. Frankie de Jong. So some of our player names still around, of course. Chiesa as Italy beat Saudi Arabia. Good to see Italy getting a good World Cup win there. Ukraine winning. And Mexico winning. Japan beating Venezuela. Sometimes the goals don't update on this FM. Germany get Norway. Portugal 2, Croatia 3. Wow. Portugal lose. Morocco get a 1-0 win against Colombia. Scott McTominay in a World Cup finals. Scotland winning 3-0. Brilliant result. Denmark get a good result. And Australia batter Panama. Canada winning. England can only draw with Ecuador. Nothing to sing about there. Argentina 2-2 with Nigeria. Still in the group, Sweden beating France. Ouch. Senegal, big win. Greece, big win. Brazil, 0. Ivory Coast, 3. Vinny Jr. red carded. And Ahmad, one of our old players, scoring there in the World Cup finals. Still in the finals, Spain winning well. Serbia lose to Algeria. Ouch. That one must hurt. America win 4-1 and another good win for Italy. Still in the group stages. And Ukraine get a win. Holland get a win. Egypt get a good win. And Germany win. Chile beat Norway. Erling Haaland in a World Cup finals. Good to see. Honduras lose heavy. Portugal beat Uzbekistan. Morocco 7-0 against Costa Rica. Frightening. Colombia beat Scotland. Australia and Denmark get wins. Ecuador win. England come into their element. 5-0 Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane. Harry Kane still in that 2030 World Cup. Argentina 0, Qatar 2. I can't believe that. That's insane. Wow. Right, France 1-1. Sweden beat New Zealand. Ivory Coast lose. Brazil get something. They beat the UAE 4-0. We're still in the group stages. Algeria 3-0 when Algeria are playing really well. Spain 1-0. Yamal. Saudi lose and Italy beat the States. Mali win. Ukraine win. Japan win against Egypt. Holland win. Haaland double. Cameroon lose. Germany lose to Chile. Portugal beat Honduras. Colombia. Goal for Scotland. Ecuador beat Canada. England. Come on, England. This is 1-0 against Burkina Faso. Come on. Group J. Argentina gets something after that awful result. Nigeria beat Qatar France win, Sweden win, Greece beat Brazil. Okay, second round, Algeria 2, USA 0. Could be a dark horse, Algeria. Chile beat Serbia. Mali beat Croatia. What's going on? And Portugal squeezed through 3-2. Second round, England. Cole Palmer gets past Egypt. England could be the dark horse. They're not playing great, but they're winning. Germany get through against Ecuador. Spain knock out Mexico. Holland beat Congo. Morocco beat Argentina. Argentina and Brazil both out this World Cup. France out the World Cup. They lose 1-0 to Greece. Still in the second round, Italy out the World Cup. Scotland win 3-2. And Senegal beat Ivory Coast 2-2 with a penalty shootout success. And Denmark get past Bosnia and Herzegovina. Still second round, Nigeria 1, Australia 0. Sorry, I thought Brazil had gone out. I thought they'd not qualified from that group phase. I was wrong. They win 1-0 against Sweden. Colombia beat Japan. Wow, round 16. Chile knock out England. Jude Bellingham red carded. Liam Delap misses a penalty. Gerald Kwanzaa misses. Chile knock out England. That would be horrific. Horrific. No trouble for Algeria. They beat Mali 3-0. Portugal knock out Germany. And Spain are out the World Cup. Greece win. This World Cup's insane. Senegal 0, Denmark 2. Rasmus Højlund with 2. And Morocco beat Holland. Holland are out the World Cup now. Nigeria 0, Colombia 1. And Scotland 0, Brazil 1. Brazil are through. Matheus Cunha, he had a fantastic season with Manchester United and he's just scored a critical goal. Quarterfinals. Can you believe this? These are the quarterfinals. Algeria 4-3. But I'll tell you something, Algeria genuinely have got some really, really good players. They will be doing well in World Cups to come. Other quarterfinals. Yeah, so Morocco knocking out Denmark. Penalty shootout. Morocco, quarterfinalists. Now with semi-finals. Algeria, semi-finalists. Portugal, semi-finalists. They beat Greece. And Brazil beat Colombia 3-1. Brazil in the semi-final. You've got to look at Brazil and Portugal. They've got to be the favourites. But Morocco and Algeria, two African countries get into the semi-finals of the World Cup. That would be unbelievable. Algeria and Morocco both drew against themselves. So we have an African nation in the World Cup final, and it's Algeria. Well, we knew this. I said this at the start when I saw them winning games. Algeria look really good. Who they're playing? Oh, Portugal. 3-0 against Brazil. That's a monster result. Morocco 0, Brazil 1. Brazil are third, and the winner of the World Cup. Is it Portugal? Is it Algeria? Portugal win 3-1. And the game was pretty much over. It was 3-0 before Adley got one on 78 minutes. And here are the previous World Cups. So 2026, Spain won it with Belgium and the States. And then Portugal winning the World Cup, Algeria and Brazil. And that Algerian side, top class. Just a top class team. Some really, really top class players there. And Portugal, the new world champions. And Bruno Fernandes, wasn't picked. I don't think he was injured. I just don't think they really wanted him in that squad, which was kind of a big surprise, but these things happen. So that's the World Cup. We've had Spain a world champion. We've had Portugal a world champion. And for Manchester United, a very successful 6 years. And unbelievable. So I just need to do this. I need to resign. Don't show the message again. And boom. Right, although you just had it, we'd like to reconsider and stay with us. Yeah, they don't want to lose me. So, there we are. Cheese quits Old Trafford. Resignation. A fantastic performance. United in search of a new manager. And a rumour of a mass exodus. So while this is still on, I am going to go to career. I am going to click here. Go on holiday. Let's do a month. I'm not going to apply. Confirm. So let's skip through some of these games, and I'll bring it back up, and then we'll see who takes over from the brilliance of Mr. Cheese, who is the Manchester United's new manager. Okay, so this is me reminiscing. It's January, so it's been halfway through a new season, and we can see that the new Manchester United team actually not bad. We've got 47 points and 49 goals. So, hey, not bad. Let's have a look, though. Liverpool, Marco Rose doing great, top of the league and unbeaten. Man United's new manager is, oh my God, Arne Slot. Arne Slot took over as the manager of Manchester United from me. You have got to be taking the... United fans wouldn't accept that. They would not accept that. Oh my God. Hey, look at that. Sesko's playing on the left wing. He whinged when I did it. Well, they bought some players. They bought in Soam and Rowan. Arne Slot. Really? I'm done.